5 stars.
Oh, but you like it, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Fighting me as a character.
Enito.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Staj if you're new here, and tomorrow we are going to the Bronx Book Festival. I'm so excited. This is actually the first ever book festival that I'm going to be going to, and so I'm excited to just see how it's going to go, the books that I'm going to be buying, because I'm obviously going to be buying some books, some of the vendors that are going to be there, and I know they're going to have a ton of authors just on panels all day. And one of my favorite authors is going to be there, Kennedy Ryan. So I'm excited to see her, hopefully get a picture with her. And I know she's going to be doing some signings as well. So I'm going to be bringing some books for her to sign, and I'll show you which books I'm going to be bringing. But I also wanted to show you guys what I'm going to be packing in my bag for tomorrow. So let me show you that right now. So definitely going to be packing this fan. This bad boy is actually pretty powerful. I got it from TikTok shop. So I'm going to be bringing this fan with me because most of the event will be outdoors. I also have this little pouch here from Pattern that I got at Ulta Beauty World, but I put a bunch of stuff in here as well. So I have some gum. I have a little pouch for my oiliness. I have these little flosser things. I have some spray SPF that I also got at Ulta Beauty World. Some hand lotion. This is Prada hand lotion that I got from Ulta Beauty World. Some deodorant, some hand sanitizer, some wipes just in case. I don't know if there's going to be like porta potties or anything like that, so I'm just bringing these just in case there's no toilet paper. Some lip gloss or lip oil, my little brush for my edge control, and then a little perfume. So that's what I'm bringing in this little pouch. Obviously, like my wallet and some other little stuff as well, some water and all of that. So I'm definitely going to be bringing some snacks as well. I was looking at their Instagram and they did like an FAQ video, and they said there may or may not be some food vendors or food trucks, which I feel like they definitely should have secured because this is a whole day event. But like I said before, this is my first time going to a book festival, so we'll see how it goes. I believe this is their 9th annual Bronx Book Festival. So this is their 9th year actually having it. So I'm sure they have a lot of things under control. I believe it's at a different location that they typically have it. So it's at the Andrew Friedman Mansion or House, Andrew Friedman House. So I'm not too familiar with that location as well. I've never been to that location, so we'll see how that goes too. But I'm gonna go and grab some snacks later, and hopefully we'll be good tomorrow in terms of food wise, because I don't like to be hangry, especially when it's hot. So if they don't have any food vendors, I'm hoping that there's like restaurants or like places we can go to in the area. But yeah, like I said, I'm excited. Oh, let me show you the books that I'm bringing to get signed as well. So a lot of stuff I'm going to be putting in a backpack, but I don't know which backpack I'm going to be wearing yet because I don't even know what I'm wearing yet tomorrow. But I'm putting the stuff that I just showed you in my backpack. But I'm also bringing this little baggie. So I actually made this bag when I had my 30th birthday trip in Aruba. I had made this for myself and my 2 friends that went with me to Aruba for my 30th. So I'm going to be just bringing this bag for carrying my books that I want to get signed. But I saw on Kennedy's Instagram that she's going to have a max of 3 books that you can get signed and 1 that can be personalized. So I'm bringing Real Score and This Could Be Us because this was my favorite book in the Skyland series. And like I mentioned, S.A. Cosby is also going to be there. And I just finished Razor Blade Tears like a few weeks ago, if that, maybe like 3 to 4 weeks ago I just finished. I don't remember. But this was really good. This was a 5-star read for me, and I'm hoping that he can sign this as well. And I'm definitely going to be reading more of his books, hopefully this year. So I'm excited. They did say you have to purchase at least 1 thing from their library, I believe, or from the venue. So I'm sure that'll be easy for me because I don't have a problem buying books, okay? I do not have a problem. So I'll definitely buy books. I'm gonna try to limit myself to 3 books, but we shall see. We shall see. I said 2, but then I just updated it to 3 because I don't know. I don't know. So I know there's going to be a ton of authors there as well, but I know like Tiffany D. Jackson, she wrote Scammer. I haven't read that book yet, but it's on my list. Natasha Bishop, who wrote Only for the Week, that's on my list as well to get started on. And my plan was to read some of these books before this festival. But that didn't happen. I think I got a little over ambitious because I'm already reading like 2 books at a time. And, I got other stuff going on in my life. So that is it. Like I said, I'm going to go get some snacks and pack stuff up for tomorrow. I'm also going to bring a blanket because they said there will be like a huge lawn area where we can just lay out and all of that stuff. So I'm going to bring my blanket as well. And I will see you guys tomorrow.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Swag it on up. Oh, those areas are cool.
Thank you.
Swag it on up.
Hi guys, let me know if you have any questions. If you
All of the works was the idea of reclaiming ownership of our bodies, and not just our physical body, but our spiritual, mental. Impossible to me. So here from Maya and Tiffany. It's hot, right? Woo. Hi. Oh, with the picnic blankets. I love it. Fight, because why nobody want to take care of her and everybody just want to bully her. Is that like a thing as well?
you want to fight everybody. I love it.
No, because sometimes people get beat up. Like these books, I be like, nah, I would have.
I was not. I'm Ashley Jordan. I write contemporary romance as well. Oh, thank you. My debut is called Once Upon a Time in Dollywood. It is about a playwright from New York.
But I think I just always been really creative. I used to love to write poetry and write music, and then when I was
And they're going to have a wonderful conversation today. So we got New York Times best-selling authors. Come on down to the stage.
Hi everybody, how's everybody feeling? We've just been really good friends, so I'm
We
so
had to stick
honored.
together in Texas because, like I said, they didn't like us. So, it's always the thing about literary writers. They'll look down their nose at you, but then they want your sales. So,
5 stars.
oh, but you like it, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Fighting me is a character.
Anito, he's based on my we're still friends. My best friend in kindergarten, his dad, he's based on his dad.
Oh, wow.
And then I get based on my granddad.
Oh, wow.
We say that my way. My grandfather did not take me with nickels. He was not the one to mess with.
We were at a sing party for sport.
Oh God.
And we got to the second chapter. Everyone's laughing.
It is hilarious that people were doing listening parties for that. Because by the time you get to the second chapter, you're like, we're all in a room listening to
I
this
was like, she
together.
wasted no time. All right, y'all, it is a few days later. Today's Tuesday. The festival was on Saturday, so let's talk about it. So I know there's been some discourse online from people who went and their reviews or their expectations and all of that stuff, but I wanted to talk about my experience personally and what I thought of it. First off, this was my first book festival that I went to ever, so I was just excited from the get-go to go. I was literally scrolling on TikTok and a video popped up saying that the festival was coming up, the Bronx Book Festival, and I sent it to my friend and we were like, let's go, let's just buy tickets and go. And that's literally how it went. And then after seeing the lineup and the authors that were going, I was like, yeah, I'm super excited for this. So yeah, that's pretty much how I found out about it. But my experience overall, we ended up driving there and I actually did like the venue. It was at the Andrew Freeman House. I think this was the first time that they had the festival at this venue or this area. Before, I think it was either at like a park or a field or something along those lines. But I did like the venue. I thought it was a really cute venue for a book festival. When we got there, we're greeted with a bag. So along with the ticket costed, I think, a little over $50. And part of the ticket, if you got there by 10 a.m., you would receive a freebie or a swag bag of some sort. The bag that we received was this bag. Says the Bronx Book Festival. There wasn't any like merch in there. I was hoping there would be like a t-shirt or a sticker or a bookmark or something along those lines. But it was literally just the bag and then a free book. The book that I got was called Goliath. I've never heard of this book before, so interested to see what it's about. I think it's actually, I'm not sure what type of book it is, but it seems pretty interesting. They did have a lot of authors who were based in the Bronx as well. So I'm not sure if this is a Bronx based author, but yeah, I'll look into this and see what it's about. But yeah, that's all I got was the bag and the book. I know there was some discourse online saying, oh, we were expecting more with our swag bag. We were expecting like a t-shirt or this or that because of the amount that we paid for. But I was satisfied, at least we got something free. So after we got our bag, we went inside and we waited in line for their bookstore. So they had like a room that they had a bunch of books in. And in order to get a signing from any of the authors that were going to be on the panels that day, you had to purchase something from the bookstore. So the line was it was pretty long. I'm not going to lie, it was pretty long. I don't know how long we waited, probably like 30 to 40 minutes in line, but it went by fast. So we were just chit-chatting and on our phones and all of that. So it went by pretty fast, but yeah, we were in line for a little bit. The only thing though that they didn't have AC inside the building, which sucked because it was pretty warm in there. I feel like it was a nice day overall. Like there was a little bit of a breeze, but inside it was warm. So it would have been nice if they had some AC in there. I know I saw one lady who was literally about to pass out and people were just surrounding her, making sure she was well hydrated and all of that and putting the fan on her. So it would have been nice if that was air conditioned. But again, I didn't have any issue with waiting in line. Once we got inside to the bookstore, I would say their selection wasn't as wide as I had expected. So they did have a lot of Kennedy Ryan's books, especially from the Skyland series. All three books were there and they were well stocked in that. I was hoping to get a book from S.A. Cosby because the only book that I have from him is Razorblade Tears, and I wanted to get either his newer book that just came out. If they didn't have anything, I also wanted to get The Scammer from Tiffany D. Jackson because she was there as well, and they didn't have any of her books left in stock as well. I know some people were able to buy the ones that they had, but once I got into the bookstore, they were like, yeah, we're sold out in those. So I was like, dang. So other than that, though, I didn't really see any books that were sticking out to me. I know they had a good amount of YA books, but none of the other books I really recognized or I either had them already. So I just ended up buying this book, which I think I've heard of it once. It's called Once Upon a Time in Dollywood. And it is a debut book from this author. So I'm excited to read this. I looked it up on Goodreads and I think it had close to 4 stars. So I'm excited to read this. It should be good. But yeah, I was hoping that they had a little bit more of a selection in the bookstore because, like I said, in order to get a book signing, you had to make a purchase. So there was that. Once we got out of the bookstore, we went outside of the front lawn or went outside in the front lawn where there were a a few vendors, and then that's where everyone was pretty much sitting. So we just laid out our blanket and just chilled out on that lawn pretty much the whole day. I also wish they did have some more vendors, which I did see this online too, that would have been cooler if they had a few more vendors. They had one vendor who was selling some signed books from other authors that weren't necessarily at the festival, but just in general. I think she had like stickers and pop sockets for your Kindle and some bookmarks and stuff like that. Yeah, I wish there were more vendors too, because I wanted to get like some sort of cute hat or a bookish t-shirt or sweatshirt or something like that. And then they had other vendors that, were just selling random stuff. So there was that. I did want to shop a little bit more, but wasn't able to. And then we just hung out on the lawn all day. They had panels all day. Natasha Bishop was there. Maya the Dawn was there. If you know that song, Telfie, she's the one who raps that song. But apparently she's a big book lover that people didn't really know or realize. So it was cool to see her up there. And she was interviewing Tiffany D. Jackson as well. So that was fun to see. And obviously the grand finale, the keynote was Kennedy Ryan, who was interviewing S.A. Cosby on his latest book. So yeah, that was fun to see. I also loved seeing Kennedy Ryan and S.A. Cosby's like dynamic. Like I didn't realize that they were good friends. So it was so cool to see their dynamic and see how they like laugh and joke with each other and all of that stuff. And S.A. Cosby seemed like a really chill guy. Like I didn't really know what to expect because the only book that I've read from him is Razorblade Tears, and baby, that book is jam-packed with crime, like violence, like this and that. So just to be able to hear his voice and kind of hear him talk about his experiences as an author and some of the projects he's worked on and some of the things he was offered, and even just hearing about, when he received his first royalty check from a book that he wrote, and being able to show that to his mother and all of that. I thought that was really cool to hear about. I was hoping to hear more from Kennedy Ryan just on Score, but I'm assuming because the tour is officially over for Score, she was just like, yeah, I'm not talking about Score right now, which is understandable. But yeah, I wanted to hear more from Kennedy on Score, just her books in general. But overall, it was pretty cool. It was pretty chill. Another thing I wish they had was more like food vendors. They only had one food truck outside of the venue, and it was just like Mexican food. So I ended up getting like an Italian ice from one of the ladies outside of the venue as well. So it was nothing crazy. But if you do end up going next year, make sure you bring some snacks, because we did bring snacks. I brought a blanket. I brought, everything that I needed, my hand sanitizer, all of that good stuff, SPF, stuff to touch up and things like that. And you saw that earlier in the video. So make sure you do bring all of that stuff. And then finally, we got the opportunity to get our book signed. So I was able to get my book signed from S.A. Cosby and my book signed from Kennedy Ryan. Like I said, I've only read this book from S.A. Cosby, but I'm so excited to read more because this book was 5 stars, and he did sign it, and he personalized it as well and said all the best. So yeah, that was exciting. And then I was able to get some books signed by Kennedy. So she had a 3-book max, but was able to personalize one. So she's so like, I love her personality. Like she's so chill and like giddy and just vibrant. I don't know. She's a vibe. I love her. And I hope I can actually get a real picture with her next time, because I think they said she had like dinner plans or something, so she couldn't do just regular pictures, I guess. They were only allowing candid pictures and candid photos. So yeah, would I go back? Depending on who the lineup would be, yeah. I know a lot of people were saying they were expecting it to be a little bit more organized because this was their 9th year doing this festival. So I can understand that, especially when it came to the book signings at the end, because obviously everyone wanted their books signed by Kennedy and S.A. Cosby. Like those were the main authors that a lot of people showed up for. Although they did have good lineups throughout the day, those were like the big headliners. So A lot of people are waiting in line for that, but the way that they organized it in terms of who was going first and who was next and all of that, and that could have been done a little bit better. But overall, I would definitely go again next year. I would, like I said, depending on the lineup, I would go again. And I thought it was pretty chill, like I wasn't expecting anything crazy. Like, it's a book festival. So, yeah, I thought it was pretty chill. I thought it was a beautiful day, too. It turned out to be a really beautiful day. Like, yes, it was hot and a little warm, but I wasn't like, you know what I mean? I wasn't uncomfortable. I brought my fan. If you go next year, make sure you bring a hand fan for sure. So, yeah. And that is it for the festival. So, if you plan on going to the festival or would like to go to the festival next year, check out the Bronx is Reading on Instagram or TikTok. And they'll be posting updates on there as well. And yeah, I'm hoping that I can get into more book festivals. So, we'll see. I don't know. I've heard mixed reviews about some of these book festivals. I heard they can get a little bit chaotic, so we'll see. But I did overall have a good time. So thank you for watching this video. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.